All right, I'm gonna go live. Give me a second. Chair, you're live. Vice Chair, you're live.
Call to order the planning and zoning meeting. Straight to the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Schrader, present. Board Member Cunningham. Board Member Walker. Vice Chair, you have a quorum.
Mr. Chairman, can I interrupt your proceedings for a moment?
What?
May I interrupt your proceedings for a moment? Thank you. Members of the board, Dave Lynch here, your town manager, and I generally have not participated in these meetings. In fact, I'm on my way to another meeting right now. But I just want to take a moment when the clerk notified me a few days ago that you were having a meeting tonight. I just want to take an opportunity before I left to say thank you again. So you're getting a constant message of love and appreciation. We've got a lot going on in this town, as you can tell, and a lot of professionals come here to help us. But the component that makes it all possible is the three of you. And you are sort of the unsung heroes that don't get a lot of attention. And I'll be talking to the clerk about our commission preparing a resolution of appreciation because there are towns where activity actually comes to a halt because they can't get people to show up in these mandatorily maintained positions reviewing planning and zoning issues. And we have all kinds of dreams and aspirations for this town. They don't mean anything unless you're here to do this this very important work. So before I depart for a different activity, I just want to make sure I came by to say thank you, thank you, thank you. We do love you. And Madam Clerk, I've noticed that we sent out a memo related to a benefit which you've extended to part-time employees, and that includes you. So I don't know if you're aware of it, but we established a car wash program where our employees can go get their own personal car washed over at Sudstop as many times as they want to. And well, now you won't have to. And Madam Clerk, if you can, make sure you get the license plates for the members that are interested, and we'll forward them on over the people over at Sudstop. That's just a tiny thing. And I wish I could see you more often than a meeting here and there or over at the Christmas party. But the fact of the matter is that we do have a lot of dreams and ambitions for this town, and we can't do it without you. So I know.
Did you have a Christmas party this last year?
Yes,
Yeah, we did. Did they not get invited? Is that what happened? Well,
next time I promise
the
you.
clerk prepared a to-go plate for you, which is still in the refrigerator. That's horrible. Well, we, Madam Clerk, let me know when the next meeting is, and we'll prepare a little buffet for the board. Okay? Thank you for all your kind service. Really appreciate it.
One last thing.
Yes.
When are we gonna get us a few more people?
You know, we've talked to the commission, as you know. This
Now,
is,
commissioners used to do that
yes, and we're asking them to do that again.
to their constituents.
That, well, not to them, for them.
Yeah, well, yeah,
The commission has a meeting on Wednesday, the 11th of March, and our intention to ask them, I've already looked at some names around the community. In fact, I have one in particular, and so our intention is to give you a full component so that you realize that if somebody has to be absent every now and then, it won't destroy our opportunity to have a meeting.
we would miss one person.
Yeah. Well, again, I thank you, and a separate party coming for you. Okay? All right. Thanks so much. Yeah, guys, have a great night.
Thank you.
Where were we? Approval of minutes.
I recommend,
for the minutes for the last meeting. Okay. I make approval for the last minutes, for the last meeting minutes that was done.
I second it.
Roll call.
Board Member Walker?
Here?
No.
We did that.
Yes or no?
Oh, yes.
Board Member Cunningham?
Yes.
Vice Chair Schrader?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Better allow, huh? Any additions, deletions, withdrawals, and continuances? No? So what do we,
Next one. Six.
applications and hearings, 6.1?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I am going to make one presentation for items 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3. And then we would just go ahead and have separate motions after the presentation. I believe that the applicant also has a presentation that ties all three together because they are all,
So we're only gonna make a motion for all three of those?
no, there'll be three separate motions, one for 6.1, one for 6.2, and one for 6.3. However, we just want to make one presentation because it's, all three items are related to one project.
One project.
And then for the Brian Sherman, Assistant Town Attorney, for the public hearing portion, you can also again call for all three items at once, but each approval has to be separate. So we were just going to make clear that anyone can speak on any item.
Okay.
May I read the items into the record?
Yes.
Okay. 6.1 will be resolution, proposed resolution 2026-016, resolution of the Town Commission, Pembroke Park, Florida, approving application at 25 SP02 special permit for the property located at the north of West Hallandale Beach Boulevard, west of Southwest 31st Avenue, east of Bryant Road, Pembroke Park, Florida, in the B1 district to allow outdoor display, sale, and storage of goods, products, and equipment on the property, superseding conflicting resolutions, providing for an effective date. Item number 6.2 is a resolution 2026, proposed resolution 2026-017, a resolution of the Town of Pembroke Park, the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, approving the parking reduction application of 25-PR-01, attached here to as Exhibit A, submitted by Home Depot USA, Inc., for the property located on the northwest corner of Hallandale Beach Boulevard and John P. Lyons Road, Southwest 31st Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. 6.3, proposed resolution 2026-018, resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, approving a site development plan for application 25-SP-02, located on the northwest corner of Hallandale Beach Boulevard and Lyons P. Road, John P. Lyons and South Road, Southwest 31st Avenue, Pembroke Park, Florida, Home Depot Retail Development, superseding conflicting resolution, providing for an effective date. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Mike Vondermeulen with Keith, we're your consultant town planner. And I'll go ahead and make the presentation to you tonight as staff for these three items, and they are all related to proposed Home Depot on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. So the requests here are going to be the site plan, the parking reduction. The sign variances actually go directly to Town Commission, so you will not be taking any action on the sign variances. And then a special permit to allow the outdoor storage that is typical of a Home Depot. So it's not out of the ordinary, it's just what's customary for each and every Home Depot that anybody has gone to. So this is the property in question. It's the old Wells Fargo property, as well as a self-storage facility behind it, zoned M1. As you might remember, in July, we did a text amendment to allow this project to move forward and had to make a minor amendment to the M1 zoning district to allow this project to occur. And then all of the six buildings over on the right. So everything in between the two roads along Hallandale Beach Boulevard. So the property has a land use of commercial and industrial. The zonings are B1 and M1, as you can see on here. And the total lot consolidation is now just under 10 acres at 9.35 acres. So this is a copy of the site plan, and I have a little bit, a few more details showing up in other slides. But I just want to highlight certain things. The store is going to be 107, almost 108,000 square feet. It'll have a 28,000 square foot garden center, and that is the area over to the left on this site plan. The building height is 37 feet at its maximum height. The parking provided is 283 spaces, and the impervious is at 85.2%. And then the setbacks, all the setbacks are exceeded by, or actually exceed any of the minimum setback requirements that are in the code, and there is no waivers for those. Here are some site plan details. The Lakeshore Mobile Home Park is right behind the Home Depot here. There's going to be 12 to 25 feet of landscaping, as well as an 8-foot high masonry wall. So that should buffer that mobile home park from any of the noise and congestion that could occur in the area behind, in the back of the Home Depot. And you can see the detail here on Bryan's Road. So access can be achieved from Bryan's Road to get to the back of the site. Here are some additional details, both of the sides, both of Bryan Road and of JP Lyons. So in here you have landscape buffers, between the two asphalt roadways of anywhere between 11 and 30 feet. Then you see the garden center area over here on the left. And then right there up in front is the typical display area that they have in front of their garden center, which usually has plants, mulch, maybe sod. And lastly, some of the site plan details again. Along Hallandale Beach Boulevard, Florida Department of Transportation required a right turn lane into the project. The project will have royal palms on Hallandale Beach Boulevard, very similar to a lot of the other properties on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. And then you'll have a new bus shelter and bench, and also part of their display area is shown here, which is near the turn lane. Here are the elevations of the property and the proposed colors, fairly typical for the Home Depot Corporation. And then going through the parking reduction, the applicant came forward with a traffic study from a traffic engineer. It was signed and sealed. The study essentially stated that there would be the actual need for the property based on that parking analysis from the traffic engineer is 254 spaces. And those are the ones that they would need. They are actually going to provide more than what their traffic study had stated and provide 283 spaces. So that exceeds their anticipated maximum demand by 29 spaces. So, however, the code, the Pembroke Park Code does not specify between like big box retail and other types of retail and other types of businesses. And so there were no reductions available in the code other than going through this parking reduction process. So actually almost 400 spaces would be required if they were to meet the requirements in the parking code. But a parking reduction is allowed to move forward with the site plan application. We'll skip over the sign variance and then the special permit. So the special permit, again, you see the landscaping out in front, the open areas at their garden center, the propane refill, as well as the rental and leasing of either trucks or equipment that will be on the property. So those are all incorporated into the outdoor storage request. Again, these are typical, and these are actually typical photos that we were able to obtain from Home Depot. And essentially, this is pretty customary. So based on that, our office has recommended approval of all three applications: the site plan, the outdoor permit, and the parking reduction. And the applicant is here as well to answer any of your questions.
I have one question. When you're saying that there are mobile homes behind that Home Depot, that's going to be behind it?
Board member, your mic. Turn on your mic.
So my question is, the traffic-wise, for those that's living in that mobile home, what is I guess what I'm trying to say is it the convenience of them not being caught up with all of the traffic from Home Depot?
Back and forth.
Like, is it like right behind it? Is it like the street is going to be on the side of it? How?
Yeah, so this is probably the best photo that we have. This is an aerial from the property appraiser. You can see the mobile home park there. You can see that the property, currently there are buildings almost right up against the mobile home park right now.
Oh, okay.
So what's going to happen is those are going to be demolished. An 8-foot high wall will be built,
Okay.
as well as almost, I forget, it was between 12 and 25 feet of landscaping. So that's just not, so that'll be mature trees, that's could be bushes. So there's going to be a lot of buffering of sound, as well as a visible shield at 8 feet, which it's probably right to our ceiling here. So it's a very high wall, and then you'll have the landscaping that goes above it and on the other side. So instead of having these buildings right up against those mobile homes now, you'll have the wall and some landscaping. Now, the two roads, both JP Lyons and Bryan Road, are going to be improved so that you'll be able to turn right on Hallandale Beach Boulevard and head north on either road.
Oh, okay.
Now, the main entrance to the mobile home park is right there in that far corner, in the far left corner.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, all of that will be improved. There'll be sidewalks, as well as curbing and things like that.
So I did notice from your presentation there will be an entrance off of Hallandale
Oh,
Beach
that's what I
Boulevard
was just about to ask.
into Home Depot,
That is,
not an exit.
well, let me go back to the site plan. No, there. I had to double check myself. Yeah, there is an exit, but it'll be onto Hallandale Beach Boulevard, and it will be a right turn only.
Okay.
Right turn entrance and right turn coming out.
That's
Yes.
yeah. So it's a right turn.
If you're going west, you can turn into Hallandale, you can turn into Home Depot.
Yes.
And if you're coming out of Home Depot, you only can make a right.
That's correct. You can see the arrows here.
Yeah, because don't forget we have the thing in the middle, so you have to go straight and go down.
That's correct.
Yeah. So just like any other business that's
Yeah,
over there.
just like the
Yeah.
advance. I mean, you go one way, and if you're going
Right.
back north, you have to go around and make a U-turn to
Right.
come back. So
Yeah, you go to the next traffic light to either make a U-turn or
Yes, yeah,
return.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And there won't be any delay like on Hallandale, like people traveling going elsewhere, not going to Home Depot. Will there be significant delayed, like going into Home Depot versus people going about their work and their other stuff?
Well, the Home Depot versus when we analyze traffic, and a traffic study was not needed for this, but just to maybe explain it, and maybe Tracy can go into it a little bit further.
Okay.
Is that the Home Depot, you're usually there on the weekends. Contractors are there early. Sometimes people go after work. It is really not a traffic generator during peak times, like when you're going to work or when you're going home from work. So the impact should actually be less, because the buildings that are there now that do generate traffic during rush hour are going to be demolished. But you do have a good sized building here that and it is retail. It is open during those hours. However, that is typically not their peak times, and it'll be more like the weekends when the traffic is a little bit heavier.
Are they overtaking any businesses that are currently there now, or just the ones that have already left and spot?
I could let Tracy expand upon that a little bit more.
Move on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, Tracy?
Hello, my name is Tracy Lautenschlager. I'm with the law firm Greenberg Traurig, representing the Home Depot. Thanks very much for being here tonight and giving us this opportunity to move the project forward. We gave you a hint back in July with the text amendment that it was coming, so we're really pleased to be able to be at this point. I don't even know, well, they're very efficient. They have my presentation up, but most of it really, we concur with the presentation made by staff. We don't have any disagreement with it whatsoever. I don't even know if we need to go through mine, but I did want to address a couple of questions that you had. So the site plan, you were concerned about the access and the impact on drive-by traffic on Hallandale. I think one of the things that probably drove FDOT to require the right turn lane was to minimize the effect to the pass-by traffic of people pulling into Home Depot. So that turn lane will help with that. Okay. Another aspect of the access plan is that other driveways right now will be closed. So there's kind of a pepper of driveways for all the smaller business that have been there for years and years. And when we build our entrance, the FDOT letter does require us to close any other prior driveways. So reducing the number of driveways improves the efficiency of the road also. The buffering, I think, in the back is going to greatly improve that situation for those residents. So we're glad to be able to do that. Trying to think if there was anything else in my, if you can, I can move this ahead myself. All right. So this is all what you've seen before, but all of these buildings will be demolished to make room for this project. So the businesses in those 6 buildings were not what I would call thriving. And then the self-storage and the old bank will be demolished also. So we think this consolidation of those properties into a project like Home Depot will really be an improvement for the neighborhood.
Okay.
This is just a colorized version of that technical site plan that Mike showed you that gives you a sense of where all this landscaping is going to be placed.
Okay.
Those are the elevations. This is a land use. The outdoor storage, again, is what Mike described, very typical for Home Depots. And, it's really important, though, that we have it, because if the Home Depot doesn't offer all of the things that we're able to offer with those items, people leave your town to go to a Home Depot somewhere else, right? But we want all of those services that your community needs to take care of their homes and their businesses. We want them all to be offered here.
Okay.
So there's no reason for somebody to drive around the corner to West Park. That's more about the parking reduction. Just incidentally, the number of parking spaces that are actually available to customers on most days will be could be as high as 26 more spaces, because we've deducted spaces that might be put aside for the Christmas trees or for the spring flower display, but they're not out of service all the time. So the parking, there's a little bit more elbow room in the parking than even the parking study indicates.
Okay.
And then the last thing I want to share with you is that a project like this really does have a great economic impact for the town. And we commissioned an impact study so that you would have this information and understand that this is real, that the tax benefit and the jobs benefits are substantial. So, and this is a little bit more detail of the landscaping that Mike already walked through with you. And that's it. So I've got Peter and Derek from Kimley Horn here to answer any questions if you have them. And I'm here to answer questions.
You didn't answer the part about if there were any current businesses in there now.
But there are a few, and they'll
So they'll be bought out.
their leases will be terminated. Yes.
He said, what is not striving? She did mention that.
Yeah.
Not striving, yes.
No, Home Depot has acquired the property, except for it's kind of a technical thing. The self-storage facility is subject to a ground lease, but but Home Depot controls it now too.
Are we allowed to ask when this building will start and when it will finish?
You are. I don't know if I know the answer. Do you know an answer, Peter?
There's not a. Peter Van Rens, Kimley Horn and Associates, Vero Beach, Florida. Currently, there need the leases to expire and move on, so we're still working on timelines. So we'll have to wait.
I think I've heard that there's one lease that will probably be in place for at least another year.
Okay.
Okay, beside that, whenever it starts, how long will it take to be completed?
Typically, it's about 1 year of construction once they start to grant opening.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Sound good.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Ready to go on the motions?
No, if I may, if you have, if the board is done and doesn't have any other questions, would be the appropriate time to open up the public hearing as to all three items?
Oh, for public?
For public input, yes.
Jeffrey, you want to say anything?
Would you like me to assist, Mr. Chair? Would you like me to assist?
Well, usually they got the part where
Yeah.
it says,
Well, all you can say is, if anyone wants to speak on any of these three items, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, please come up to the podium now.
anybody would like to speak on application number 6.1, 6.2,
And 6.3.
6.3, please come to the front. I don't think there's,
Right. So, Mr. Chair, you've indicated that no one here wishes to give any comment. You would now close the public hearing. And then at that point, you would take each motion for 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3 individually. So is the public hearing now closed?
yes, public hearing is closed.
Thank you, sir. Now it would be appropriate to call for a motion unless there's any other questions or comments from the board.
I don't have any question. Do you have any?
No.
Do you have any?
No.
Everything was pretty straightforward. Okay, I make a motion. I make a motion that the board finds the competent substantial evidence have been presented by the applicant and recommend the town commission grant the special permit to allow outdoor storage.
6.1.
That's 6.1.
Yep, and for the record, that's proposed resolution 2026-016. Thank you.
Pardon?
I was just adding to the record, that's all.
Okay.
I second that motion.
Roll call.
Board Member Cunningham?
Yes.
Board Member Walker?
Yes.
Vice Chair Schrader?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And then
So, 6.2,
yes.
the parking reduction. I make a motion that the board finds a competent, substantial evidence that has been presented by the applicant and recommended by the town commission grant the parking reduction as presented.
That's proposed resolution 2026-017.
I second the motion. Yes.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Schrader,
Yes.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. Side plan. 6.3, side plan. Motion. I make the motion that the board finds a competent, substantial evidence that has been presented by the applicant and recommended by the town commission grant the site be approved for Home Depot.
That's 6.3 resolution, proposed resolution 2026-018.
I second that motion.
Roll call.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schrader,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
motion carries.
Do you know when it's going to? Commission agenda?
Oh, it'll be, so this item is expected to go to the town commission on Wednesday, next Wednesday.
On what, on which motion?
All three of those motions, just for your information.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the sign ordinance.
I make
Pleasure.
a motion to finish the meeting.
No, you have three more
We have
items.
two more items. More items.
Sure, Mr. Chair.
We actually have three more items, so.
There's three more items.
The next three items are
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Or 6.5 and 6.6. Let's get on with it.
Here you go. May I, Mr. Chair? The next item would be 6.4, proposed ordinance 2026-009, an ordinance of the town of Pepper Park, Florida, amending chapter 21 entitled Signs and Advertising for amending Article 2 Signs, entitled Signs, providing for purpose and intent, providing for and removing definitions, providing for exempt signs, providing for prohibited sign locations, fabrications, applications, design and types, amending section 2120, permanent sign regulations, amending sign section 21-21 temporary sign regulations, amending section 21-22 non-conforming sign regulations, amending to section 2123 permit requirements, amending section 2124 construction, maintenance, location requirements, amending section 21-25 re-inspection fees, amending section 21-26 removal of nuisance sign, amending 21-27 penalty for violation, removal of division 3 entitled political science, amending division 4 entitled variance, amending section 21-71 application fee deposit for consultants, section 21-74 filing for request, amending section 21-75 applications, review and return and complete a fee if not paid, section 21-76 issuance receipt, distribution of copies, section 21-77 placement of commission agenda, section 21-78 hearing notice applicant, removal of section 21-79 waiver of time schedule, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the Planning and Zoning Board, again, Mike Von Meulen. Our staff has been working with members of the Town Commission for probably over a year and on this sign code. So this is pretty much an overhaul of the sign code. We will go through the basics of it. It's hopefully it's very self-explanatory. It is much more pro-business than the one that the town currently has. I don't know if you've been watching some of the last town commission meetings, but we essentially have 1 to 2 sign variances almost on every agenda. So we're hoping to address that situation as well as make it much clearer for the applicants for their for when they want to put in and install and construct signs. So the intent is to incorporate most of the intentions of the current sign code. This one will also address architectural compatibility. This also acknowledges portions of the Florida Constitution that regulate signage, freedom of speech, Also acknowledge many of the court cases that had to do with signage, and then identify impact of sign clutter on the town. So there's a whole bunch of new definitions. There are some minor changes to some of the items, but then they're also adding changeable copy, electronic digital sign, and mural, and then deleting building directory sign, bus bench sign. Those two have been relocated. Community sign has just had a name change to municipal signs and municipal signage. And then signed logo type has been removed because logos is actually defined in the sign code. So it was taking out some redundancy. For the exempt signs, we're adding, just for clarification purposes, we're going to add all the government signs. So the government signs will be exempt from the sign code. Any kind of holiday decor, any lighting and things like that, it's not a sign. It's considered holiday decor, so it wouldn't violate the sign code. Notice of bulletin boards, plaques, public notice signs, and any kind of traffic warning signs. Any kind of signs that are essentially for health, safety, and welfare. Those would all be exempt from the sign code. Prohibited signs, we had added language about distracting signs, the flashing signs, the animation signs, ones that will emit noise, odor, smoke. So those are ones that are going to be prohibited. Language about signs that are attached to trees. Add private signage on public property, meaning the private sign should not be in the street, public street, or on any public property. And then adding language about signs that have been abandoned. So we have taken out all the regulation about minimum letter sizes and maximum letter sizes and all of the other those types of requirements, as well as the where these signs have been located, and essentially as the type of street. So you have the local streets, and then you have these streets that are called collectors. They're a little bit bigger, and then you have the ones that are called arterials. And so as each street gets bigger and the lanes widen, the signs are allowed to get larger. And so we have the maximum sign face for each of these signs, and it's all based just on the road category. And then on the permanent signs, you could take advantage in this sign code promotes monument signs. So the signs that you see from the ground up. So if you want to have a pole sign, or you want to have a pylon sign, your space gets kind of shrunk because the poles become part of the sign. And so that you see that the length and height is always measured from those items that you see up at the top. We've also set up a way of putting in the permanent signs that are on the face of the building. So this gives the business owner much more flexibility. So you take the facade that the tenant has, and you allow 10% of that entire height and width, and allow 10% of that to be signage. So you can do this in so many different fashions, as you can see here. You can have the sign off to the side. You can have it above, which is kind of typical. Or you can have it, in any location that you like, and then your sign face there. And then there's a maximum of 200 square feet. So anyone who has a fairly large frontage along any of the roadways, they would be maxed out at 200 square feet. In terms of other permanent signs, we identify canopy signs, which would identify each of the individual businesses. We have a new section which is murals, where you could take the whole side of a building and put in the picture of someone famous from Pembroke Park, or some of the old history, or something modern, or it could just be shapes. But the murals would be this is something that would be new and something allowed. The billboard signs, really no changes. Currently, all the billboard signs are limited to right along Interstate 95, along Southwest 30th, and there are specific regulations in there, so there's no changes to those. And then the municipal signs, again, no material changes. And then there are minor edits to the gasoline signs and the types of signs that are allowed at the pumps and things like that, as well as the price. And most of those regulations come from the state. We also identified all the temporary signs, your typical real estate sign. In there, we've one of the things that sign codes are always striving to do now is make sure they do not violate any First Amendment rights. So the word open actually represents something. So we try to remove any kind of regulation of verbiage on a sign. That is all being removed from the sign code. So the word open house, all that, you just have a sign, and whatever you put on that sign, and whether it's in Spanish or Creole or English, or you just sort of say over here, you're allowed to do that.
You want me to jump? I can.
Yeah.
Briefly, one of the big issues is that courts have, in the modern time, has basically said you can only regulate time, place, and manner. So the size, location, duration of the sign, anything that within the four corners relating to what the sign says. That's what Mr. Von der Meulen is saying about open or closed or anything else. That is in the First Amendment realm. But it's time, place, and manner. So the sign could say anything. We can regulate the size, the location, but not what the sign says.
Okay.
And so that's what we did with most of the rest of these temporary signs. You can see that we removed all the copy requirements, and that's what you see here, and then changing some of the terms. And then there are particular ones that are fees. I don't know if I have that. Yeah, so the other sections that were tweaked in the sign code include the non-conforming signs, allowing people to repair the sign that they have if it doesn't comply with the current code. You can keep it, fix it, things like that. However, if you sell the building and a new person comes in, they have to put in a new sign that complies with the code, or seek a variance from the town commission. Okay. And then permits and construction and re-inspections, there was all kinds of fees that were in the city ordinance, and it is much more easily changeable if you in the code of ordinances state that the fees are regulated by resolution, so that if you have inflation or the costs increase, for the town, you can go ahead and by resolution, not two readings of city commission or anything like that, and change this text so that you can just do it by resolution and just have that fee schedule available to the public and on the website. Mm-hmm. And then we just relocated the political signs, because I think the political signs were recently amended, and they were kind of set off to the side, so now they're incorporated into the entire sign code as part of the typical signs. And then we have removed the waiver of time from the variance requirement, but the variance, other than that, none of the variance requirements have changed. And that concludes my presentation, and if you have any questions, we're here to answer them. And I apologize. This is probably the most intensive one. The other two are a little bit easier.
Well,
Mr. Chair, would you want to open up the
public hearing.
Oh, yeah. and
Yeah.
Jeffrey Cummings.
integrated the
Yes, even though it looks like the room,
Discussion of the public?
it looks like there's another staff, only staff is here for the record, but, so.
Mr.
with that-
Coleman, do you have anything to say or add to it?
Right.
Okay.
Are staff allowed to ask questions?
Of course, absolutely, they're members of the public.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it for the record, so then then they know that there's not a member of the public here. So with that, if there's no one, you can close the public hearing, Mr. Chair.
Close public hearing.
No, I have a question about you said the signs for political thing. I mean, you said it was like added or or what?
So technically, it was more recent than the rest of the sign code. The sign code's been there for a fairly long time. But there was a completely separate political one, and I think it was because there were a lot of court cases going back a couple of years back, maybe in the early 2000s, and so I believe the code was amended at that time, and it was a standalone, meaning it was his own code section. So we just incorporated it back in to the temporary signs because a political sign is a temporary.
Okay. You guys good? Okay. Continue. No, you got to do your stuff.
No, if there's no further questions, yes, Mr. Chair is correct, it would be up to the board to make a motion.
Okay. And 6.4, we have to do it consecutive, just like how we do the first one?
Well, this is a standalone item. So once you make the motion here, then we move to the next item.
Oh, okay. 6.4. I make a motion, the board finds the proposal text amendment inconsistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the town of Pembroke Park and recommend the town commission approve the sign code amendment.
I second the motion.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Schrader,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
motion carries.
Mr. Chair, may I read the next item?
Yeah, hurry it. Ooh.
Yes, text amendment, accessory structures, 6.5.
Correct. Proposed ordinance 2026-010, an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending chapter 28 entitled the zoning code to establish 28 zoning to establish section 28-339 regulations of accessory structures in the residential zoning districts, providing for definitions, permitted types, location, height, designated design standards, and effective date. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the Planning and Zoning Board. So we realized, or some of the commissioners realized, there actually was no regulations in the town code for accessory structures, any at all. So we have developed a new code section that goes ahead and identifies and defines many of the accessory structures that you would typically see in the town and have created some regulations for them. And so this will be a new section in chapter 28, 339. And it's just essentially creates definitions, where are the permitted structures, establishes the setbacks, maximum heights, and it also talks about chicky huts, which are the like kind of tiki huts that are actually built by the Seminole and Mississippi Indians, and those have special exemptions from the state, and we just reflect those into the town code as well. So typically these are the types of accessory structures we're talking about: carports, detached garages, so garages that are not attached to the actual building or townhouse now, screened enclosures, sheds. these are very common. If you look at any of the aerials, there have been a lot that have been allowed or constructed either with or without permits, but we wanted to create some regulations and some uniformity. Again, you have the canopies, you have decks and patios, you also have gazebos and pergolas back up to the chicky hut. And we also talk about pools, both in-ground and above ground, screen enclosures, trellises, and then also sculptures and statues. Lastly, any type of equipment that is not on the building itself, not attached to the building or on the roof. If it is on the ground, then we're regulating it as an accessory structure as well. And then typically those are your AC units and generators. And then you see here your typical setbacks. Our goal is to preserve the front setback. So as you see with any of the regulations in the code, most of them except for the trellis and the statues are not permitted in that front 25 feet along the street face. So if you want to put in a detached garage, or you want to put in a carport or a shed or anything, it just has to be behind your principal structure, behind the main building. And essentially that's the gist of the entire ordinance. Lastly, all accessory structures will require a permit. All accessory structures must comply with not just the town code where these proper setbacks are, but also with the Florida Building Code, Florida Fire Code. And then this code section does not supersede any requirements from any condominium association, mobile home park ownership, or homeowners association. So that you must get those permissions first if you are in one of those. So it's just trying to provide a little bit more clarity. It also, what we did is with most of these structures is allow them within 5 feet of the property line. So most of these are going to have a maximum of 12 feet, and then they can be placed anywhere in the side and rear yards up to 5 feet from the property line. And that concludes my presentation.
I thought you had to have all of those items approved anyway by the city. You have to have a permit for everything, all of those items, if I'm not mistaken. Did y'all go around and
That is correct.
Yes. So I'm like, wait a minute, isn't all of those items you have to have a permit for anyway?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But we didn't. There were no directions or instructions in the code of where they could be placed. So that's why we created this section.
I have to ask for
Yep.
any input from the public?
Okay, let's move along.
And then you can close it. Yeah, and the reason why I have to ask is because when someone looks at just the record, right, you look at it, just the transcript of it, you see that it's open and closed. You can't see the fact that no one's here, which is why I add that to the record. So when you're reading it just there, that's why they don't see what you see.
Public's closed.
There you go.
6.5. I make a motion that the board finds a proposed text amendment inconsistent with the goals, objective, and policies of the town of Pembroke Park. As recommended, the town commission is recommend approval of the accessory structure text amendment.
Roll call.
I second the motion.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schrader.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, last one. I gotta go.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is the last one, and I actually have a revision, so I wanted to go ahead and give this to the board. And I don't know if I have enough.
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
To London. Just.
Okay.
Is this in here?
Everything?
Accessory structure.
Oh, Lord.
Or is it- It's an ordinance. I gotta
How long is
just read
this?
it, that's
Is
all.
everything here? You got it wrong.
It's too expensive.
Here,
This
it was,
this is the old one. So what we
is the title the same?
the title's the same.
Okay, that's all. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may, this would be a proposed ordinance, an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending the town code of ordinances by amending chapter 20 entitled zoning, article 3, district regulations, division 6, M-1 industrial district, providing for the regulation of self-storage facilities, amending section 21-301 entitled minimum requirements, providing a parking minimum for self-storage facilities, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
No, but in so.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the Planning and Zoning Board, this is a request to go ahead and regulate self-storage facilities. This item, and I apologize for getting you the revision here, but this had gone to a commission workshop a couple months past, and they had asked us to increase the distance separation requirement that you'll see in the code that I'll discuss.
Okay.
So right now, just as small as this town is, there are 8 self-storage facilities. Most of them are located in the M1 zoning district. And then 3 newer facilities that have just been built in the last decade. The type of self-storage facilities are changing. They're going from the 1-story, awning door to now, 5, 6-story self-storage facilities, and we have quite a few of them in such a small town. So the commission was extremely concerned and had requested that we go ahead and create some recommendations. So again, we are now creating a definition for self-storage facilities. There really wasn't one in the code. One of the things that continually comes up either when a self-storage facility arrives or after it's been in place for a while is a truck rental operation. So we wanted to make sure that we have the proper regulations and the proper space to allow for truck rental operations. And then require some additional landscape screening, especially for those type of truck rental operations when you're storing vehicles for long periods of time. So the self-storage facilities would still be allowed as a permitted use in the M1 zoning district. However, there would be some additional regulations. Again, we're now creating regulations for truck rentals. And then we establish more requirements for the location and design of the facilities. So we are now going to require a 2-acre minimum lot size so that you can have the proper landscape, drainage, and building and parking. There's also a half mile. There was a 1,200 or 1,500 foot distance separation that was increased by recommendation or consensus of town commission to 1/2 mile distance separation from other existing facilities. Then you have your landscaping and screening requirements, especially on the front street. And then you have just your operational guidelines and for the truck operations. So the existing facilities are located in green. And this is the revised map which you just received. And then the areas in light blue are properties that are currently zoned M1 but are less than 2 acres in size. And then the dark blue is the properties that are zoned M1 that are more than 5 acres in size, or more than 2 acres in size, I'm sorry. So in this area, you can see that based on the location of the current facilities, there's just the area around Coca-Cola, Amazon, and Prologis that would allow for the self-storage facilities. And again, the one in blue here is the one that will be going away with the Home Depot project. And we'll modify that map as new self-storage facilities and existing self-storage facilities either leave or are demolished. And that concludes my presentation on this one.
Okay.
Questions from the public?
Yes.
Any comments from the public? Close.
Okay. Motion time now. 6.6, self-storage facility. I make a motion the board finds a proposed text amendment inconsistent with the goals, objective, and policies of the town of Pembroke Park and recommend the town commission approve of self-storage text amendment as revised by staff within the half-mile radius.
I second the motion.
Roll call.
Vice Chair Schrader,
Yes.
Board Member Walker,
Yes.
Board Member Cunningham,
Yes.
motion carries.
I asked for public comments again, right? No? I say the meeting is adjourned.
No, I need a motion for, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Roll call.
Go.
No roll
Aye.
call, we're done.
Thank you.